Happy Tuesday, folks. Welcome once again to the Hockey Playoff Edition. I'm Miguel Mike Medina. This is Jim Behringer. Jim, how's it going?
It's going well, man. 2 days, Stanley Cup final through 2 games. Life is good that we have hockey back.
Yes, man. And Vegas Golden Knights, what a clinic they put up in Game 2. What a clinic. I don't know what they had for a pregame meal, but they were starving out there. They just wanting for more and more and more. I will say this. I'm not counting out the Florida Panthers, but they're in deep trouble right now. With this Vegas Golden Knights team, you cannot take a break. This team is fast, this team is physical, and they have a lot of depth. So now that the series will go back to Florida, they're going to have to answer the bell. They're going to have to do something. Because if not, it's going to be deja vu from 1996 all over again. And you know very clearly, Jim, they got swept in 96. They do not want the same result again 27 years later.
No, and right now it's a similar pattern from 1996. Close first game against Colorado, get blown out. Close first game against Vegas, get blown out. They're 0-6 in the Stanley Cup final right now. And, we talked about it heading into game 1. The 10 days off was a problem for Florida, right? I mean, like you can clearly see they just don't have the legs yet. Something's off with this team. They don't have the momentum. The play that they were playing with, the level that they were playing with, it gets off. If 10 days, it's a lot of time off. Bobrovsky just doesn't look the same. It's not like he's played poorly, but he's got to stop some pucks, and he's not playing well. Too undisciplined. Going over an edge. Matthew Tkachuk's reverting back to how it ended in Calgary against Edmonton. Just taking stupid penalties, 10-minute misconducts, not worrying about scoring, too much about the fighting and the other stuff. He needs to get back to playing his regular game and let everybody else do everything else. But the thing is we've talked about it. When Vegas wants to take over a game, they will. They did it to Dallas twice. They've done it for the third period and all of Game 2 against Florida, and they just have no answer. Florida was the bully in the Eastern Conference. They've met the bully of the Western Conference, who continues to just push everybody around because they're more physical. They have speed, skill. They can play any which way. Jonathan Marchessault, 12 goals, franchise playoff record. He's got 10 goals in his last 9 games. Go back first round, 12 goals in 12 games. This guy's on a tear. Adin Hill continues to play well. The save of the playoffs, the turning point of the series, same net as Holtby in 2018. Look, everything right now points all Vegas Golden Knights heading into Game 3.
And Adin Hill, this is a guy who came into the Edmonton series. And from the Edmonton series all the way to now, he's just been playing lights out. And there's already conversation about him in the Conn Smythe Trophy. So let's see what happens. And also the Vegas Golden Knights top line, they're producing. Jack Eichel's stepping up. John DeMarche is always stepping up. This team is just like unbelievable, and they're 2-1 away from winning it all.
Yeah, I mean, look, top to bottom, that team has so much depth, right? You look at it, that they're all 4 lines can score. Their defense is big. They're fast. Adin Hill, Marchessault, Eichel, the Conn Smythe Trophy favorites right now from the Vegas Golden Knights side of things. Their power plays clicking. Everything's just going their way. And think about it, right? Bobrovsky hadn't given up, 3 goals in 8 straight games until the Carolina game. Now he's done it 3 times in a row, 3 or more goals. First time since the Boston series. He's beatable. They just Florida has to play better in front of them. But Vegas, when they want to take over a game, they're going to take it over and they're going to win it. This team is on a mission. Bill Foley set forth 6-year Stanley Cup. They're 2 wins away from it. And not to mention, by the way, Vegas in every Game 3 to start on the road, they've won. So, again, all signs pointing Vegas as we go back to Florida for Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final.
If you're a Montreal Canadian fan, you got to be happy with the latest move that has been going on. It's a great move. 8 years. Now Montreal has to put enough pieces around that young man. I'm gonna let you take it from there.
Yeah, Cole Caulfield, new 8-year contract, $62.8 million, a $7.85 million AAV. just under captain Nick Suzuki, who makes $7.875 million a year AAV. Look, this team, ever since Caulfield came into the league, this guy's been a monster. Obviously under Ducharme, it wasn't great. The scoring wasn't there, but in the playoffs that year, in that run to the Stanley Cup final, he was great. Then it tailed off. Martin St. Louis, he's taken off under Martin St. Louis. They have their two youngest pieces locked up for 8 years, build around this team. They paid for value with this contract, with the cap only going up. It's going to look like a steal, like the Devils contract with Jack Hughes. He's only going to get better and better. It's a great day to be a Montreal Canadiens fan. They have such a great future ahead, and they're doing things the right way with that salary hierarchy. Unlike in Toronto, where we just give everybody what they want, they get these guys in under a structure, and they're going to make the team better in the future.
Montreal Canadiens, they haven't won since '93, which they beat Wayne Gretzky and the Kings. So, but they do have a bright future. I'm just really hope that the front office, okay, you lock these two guys up. Now you got to put enough pieces on them so they can get back into the glory days of the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, look, the division is tough for the Canadiens. You got Toronto still there, Tampa, Boston, Ottawa's only better, Buffalo's better. But look, Sam Montembeault played great for Team Canada at the Worlds. He's probably might be their number one this year. Do not be surprised in the next couple of years, Jeff Gorton, Kent Hughes get this team back to where it was supposed to. I know they had that run in 2021. Not 2001, 2021. And, they got to the Stanley Cup final. They lost, Carey Price, everything. This team has a great future ahead. You still got Gallagher there on a reasonable contract. You still got Anderson there on a reasonable contract. Don't overspend. Get guys locked up the right way. And you have a great coach in Martin St. Louis. You can't say anything else. You got value for who you have on the team right now. So it's going to be a great future for Montreal. The division is just tough. We'll see when they get back to the playoffs, but they always play their rivals well.